Hi, my name is Bob Taylor, and I'm your host for this segment of Our Ventura TV. I'm here today with my guest, local fine artist Petrina Sharp, and our subject today is Art is for Everyone. Art is for everyone. I've never felt like an artist.
Well, that's okay, because today we're going to find your artist.
I totally agree with that part of the show. Art is for everyone. But how do you find that in you? How do you find what art is in you, and how do you express that?
Well, there's many different ways. I think you have to do something that just strikes you. But what we're going to do today is a very easy project. It's called an acrylic pour. And what we're going to do is on the table we have all these little cups, and we're going to combine them all into this cup, and then we're going to pour it on the canvas and tilt it around. And just about anybody with not even an artistic bone in their body anywhere can do this.
Now, I'm really thrilled about doing this. I'm really getting a kick out of it. But is that the way, is something like this is how you would start somebody to find out if they enjoy art? Or, I mean, I got grandkids. They're always coloring pictures and drawing me little pictures and stuff.
Well, that's how it all starts, right?
Okay.
They really do start as kids, and you do drawing and stuff. And I think what happens is that sometimes children don't get acknowledged for their art, right?
Oh, okay.
The parents go, oh yeah, that's nice, and then ignore it. And they don't really acknowledge the child as an artist and say, wow, thank you for doing that for me. And that makes a big difference, because later on people go, well, why do I want to do art? Nobody cares about it, right?
Okay, so the encouragement at a young age is
yes, but it doesn't matter. You can do art at any frickin' age. You can take some paint like this,
right,
put it in a balloon, and throw it on a canvas, and it's art. You can do, art is loosely described as anything, like from all kinds of artists, right? There's so many different kinds of art. But the thing is, to just start is to just do something. You can go to YouTube, you can find so many videos on anything you want to learn.
And it really doesn't matter if somebody else wants it or likes it, because art is, as they've said, forever in the eye of the beholder.
Exactly.
Or beauty in the eye of the beholder.
Well, it is. I mean, it's helpful to have art, genuine art, has a communication. So in order to be art, it must communicate something.
Okay, that
right?
makes sense, yes.
Yes, but in the case of today, we're just going to have some fun. So the first thing I'm going to have you do is cover your canvas, because we got to talk and work at the same time.
Okay.
Cover your whole canvas with
this is just paint that we're just putting on here?
Yeah, it's just an acrylic paint. We just want a wet canvas when we go to pour the rest of our stuff.
Okay.
And I forgot to get a second brush, so I'm going to have to wait for you, but that's okay.
Yeah, well, I'll be quick. Not that I have a clue as to what I'm doing, but...
Oh, no, you're doing great. That's all we're doing, is just spreading it all over the canvas so that we have a nice wet surface to do our project on. Yeah, art is definitely, in the eye of the beholder, and it's whatever somebody wants to create. Art could be music. Art is the white paint on my arm that I just got? Well, yeah, you have to be willing to get a little messy.
Well, I was at the Getty once on a little tour, and there was somebody talking, and we were looking at art, and they said that an artist never makes an art stroke accidental.
Well, there you go.
I mean, I really didn't know what they meant by that, because I would think if I was doing something, I'd make all kinds of accidents and try to repair them.
Well, and that's the thing. If you're working with paint, first of all, it's just paint, and you can repair it. You just paint over it.
Right.
So, you just really kind of have to let yourself go and let it be whatever it is, right? I mean, for me personally, I tend to, other than when I'm not doing a project like this, I tend to have a composition in mind already. And, because there's different types of arts, like I'm more of a realist painter myself. But, so I usually have a composition in mind. I usually have, total subject in mind, and I have, I already know what I want to create before I even start.
Now, do you think most artists are like that?
No.
Okay.
No, the most amazing artists I know can just start and do something and have it turn into something awesome.
I read a book once called The Dot.
Yeah.
And it was about a little girl who ate art, and her art teacher made her do something, so she stuck her pencil in the middle of the page and said she was done. So the art teacher said, okay, sign it. And she signed it, and it was up on her teacher's desk the next day in a frame. And all of a sudden she got the bug because she could do better dots than that. And anyway, to make a long story short, at the very end, she had her big own art project with all these different colored darts everywhere, or dots everywhere. And a little kid came up walking to her and said, boy, I wish I was an artist. I can't draw at all. I can't even make a straight line. And she said, make one. So he makes a real squiggly line trying to be straight, and she looked at it and said, sign it.
Yeah.
And
well, that's where it starts, right?
That recognition turned her into an artist. That little,
See, it is the acknowledgement that does help.
Right.
If you're working with kids, but anybody wants to have acknowledgement for what they're doing. All right, so now what we're going to do, now we have a wet canvas. You're going to take your cup and you're going to just pour a little paint in any order that you want.
Just a little bit of it, not the whole thing?
You can do a little bit, all of it. We want to have most of the paint in the cup when we're done.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So this is an acrylic pour. What we've done is we've taken acrylic paint and we've mixed it with a half, in this case, because we're just doing kind of an introduction to this, we're doing half water, half Elmer's glue. Just to get this, you can use Floetrol, which is a paint thinner. There's all kinds of different things that you can do, use to make this.
Now, but it's still all the same basic thing, no matter what solvent you use or whatever, it's still called an acrylic pour.
Yeah, because you're making the paints thin enough to pour.
Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense. I like this.
Yeah, this is going to be fun.
Well, the good part about it is a lot of it was, a bunch of it was preparation. So I didn't have to kick in my art genes to prepare, because I wouldn't know how to start with that kind of thing. But with this little bit of help saying, okay, here's what we do, it gets my art juices flowing.
Awesome. Well, you're now about to get them really seriously flowing. So what we're going to do is take your canvas.
Okay.
And you're going to get your fingers dirty, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
And we're going to put it on top of the cup, like this. Take the cup. Good. Now we're going to flip it over. Oops. Well, usually we're trying to balance it on these little things, but it doesn't matter. So anyway, here we go. Okay, now just let your cup go.
I just kind of...
Let it go.
Whoops. Try to balance it and it's lifting it up.
It's okay, because you're going to take the edges and you're going to move it around anyway.
Oh, that is cool.
Okay, so just set your cup down. And now what we're going to do is we're going to tilt this guy.
I see how this could be a little bit messy if you're working on it with your kids or something, you know?
Well, that's why we have paper covering the entire table.
And paper towels everywhere.
And paper towels. And if you want, you can even, just pour a little extra in.
Oh, of a certain color or something once you get into a certain place.
Yeah.
Oh, so it doesn't matter if you go over the edge a little bit or anything?
No, we want it to go over the edge. We want it to go completely
so you want it completely covered everywhere?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was trying to be careful at first.
No being careful. This is all about mess and being creative. See, let pour. That's why we call it a pour project, because we're pouring it. And then to make it a little bit more exciting even, we can...
You sure are going to get it all over our fingers, aren't we?
Yeah, just let it go. And you can get those little disposable gloves, which I left at home today. And then also you can put silicone, a little bit of silicone. Some people use like treadmill oil. We're just going to fake it with this and do a little...
and what, that's WD-40?
Yeah, whatever. We're just gonna play, see what happens.
This is really cool.
We're not using the most expensive paint, so it's okay that it's doing whatever it's doing.
You know something?
Oh, we're gonna-
I have an uneasy feeling of, I don't know, it just makes me feel good that the paint's coming off my fingers or rolling up.
Well,
I don't know what it is, but.
it's just gonna go wherever and do whatever. We want it to go all the way to the edge. Let's do this corner a little bit more.
I got some flowing off from that side and none in this corner here yet.
And the thing is, you can use whatever colors you want, and then we can help it a little bit. Like I have, when I use big projects, I have a big trowel like this, but you could do little ones, and we just take a little bit from here.
Oh, to cover the corner or
Cover the
something that you didn't
corners.
quite get on.
Right, or take some off the table that's dripping. And
Okay, I got tons that are dripping, and I got to get that corner.
well, here, I have another one of
Your
these.
fingers look like that?
Yeah, it's okay. This
All
is
right.
what you call getting into your art.
Oh, I like that. Okay, now, Petrina, how long have you known that you wanted to be a fine artist? I mean, what got the bug going in you?
Well, actually, I started out as a major in theater production, and as doing that, I actually had to do a lot of art because, you know, you're doing things for the set, and I realized I really liked set design and all that kind of thing. So I would build sets with the theater department and that kind of thing. And then I went to another school, and I realized that I wanted to actually take fine art classes, and then I did that. But really, I only took a few art classes. Mostly, I am self-taught. You just have to be willing to play. That's really all it is. You just have to be willing to go, oh, I want to try that.
Isn't that what life is really supposed to be all about?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put a couple of these different colors here. I just got to tilt my little board.
Yep.
Oh, now that's cool, the way it kind of just,
Yes.
that's the water in it that does that, isn't it?
Well, yes, it's the liquid. So you want to just, you know, we want it to run and do interesting things. We probably could have used even some more colors.
Now, this to me would be more, it's acrylic pour, but it's more looking like what I would call back in my day when I was looking at art, modern art. Anything that wasn't realistic, I guess, or
Yes.
realism was modern art.
I would have to say this is more modern art than anything. But I think my point today is that anybody can do this kind of a project, right? This is anybody can tackle this, and it's okay if you get dirty.
I mean, I look at this and I look at yours and I think, oh, that looks like a so-and-so, or that looks like a so-and-so.
That's the thing. Art is in the eye of the beholder, right?
And the interpretation of the
And the
beholder.
interpretation. So yeah, I mean, it's really, what is it, if you're an artist yourself, what is it that you want to communicate out there? And then you can, you know, if you had something like this on the wall, you can have a little blurb next to it saying, blah, 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 I was inspired by whatever,
Right. Okay.
right? Or, you know, you can just leave it up to other people to look at and go, oh, I see this and I see that. And
Well, it reminds me of that. I was watching a show once, or maybe it was a commercial or something, but there was a couple of people looking at a picture in the art studio, and they're both looking really puzzled. Somebody walks up and turns it sideways, and then they're going, oh, okay, now I see. I mean, he didn't change the picture at all, because it was just something like this.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, they're going, oh, now I see what that is.
yeah,
You know, so I guess it just depends on what you want to look at.
exactly.
All right, so
But
what are you going to call that thing?
The whole point is, well, I don't know. It's just a piece of art. It's just colors. I like blues and greens.
So
and
you
whites.
do a lot of it. It's not just a piece of art for me. It's the first thing I've ever done since I was in high school, I guess, and learned an art project.
There you go. Are you happy with the way it looks right now?
Yes, I'm excited about what I learned, and I'm happy. Knowing what it was going to do, I probably would have used a little less green and more blue, because I'm more of a blue guy than green guy, and this
Well,
turned
then
a
you
little
know
more
what?
green.
You can pour. I have some more blue. Just pour a little bit more in. I think we're going to have to wrap up the show pretty soon, but
All right, I'll pour some more of this guy in.
yeah, just pour a little bit more in, and then just give it a little swishy. Here, there's some more dark blue. There's more blue. Just pour it in. It just means that your canvas is going to be a little wet longer. Definitely be willing to pour some off the edge and that kind of thing.
Oh, I'm more than willing to
more.
do that.
Yeah, there's more blue.
And just put this blue down
Just
here.
give it a whoosh.
Well, that's a good idea.
There you go. And now you can tilt it and turn it a little bit.
Go back to where I was originally and
Yeah.
get those all mixed up.
Yep.
Oh, I like that. That is really cool. Oh, I can just see kind of doing this with my grandkids. I'm going a little bit crazy.
Oh, yeah, see? It's definitely something.
The bigger the mess, the more they love it.
Exactly. Yeah, this is, like I said, this is a project that is easy for anybody to try and figure out their inner artist.
Yes, and not only that, it's...
See, look, we got a lot more something going on right now.
I like that change. I like that.
Okay, then leave it
I'm going to leave that just like
flat.
that.
There you go. I think we have created something.
I guess I'm really just shocked at how much I like that, or how good I feel about that.
Well, this is excellent. You're an artist.
I guess.
You created a beautiful piece of artwork.
It really does look nice, doesn't it?
Yep.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't need to look nice to you, I guess. It just...
Oh no, it looks great. I think I like it, but yours better than mine.
Well, I like what I like. The reason I wanted more blue is because I really liked that one dark blue spot along
Yeah,
there.
well, you've got one now.
I know. Now I got one.
That's cool.
But I wouldn't have thought of that had I not seen yours, though. But I guess when you're an artist, you pick up on more of that stuff, what you like and what you don't like, and you spend more time looking at things.
Yeah. Well, that's the primary job of an artist, is you look and then you create.
Okay, now
Right.
if there was any young people out there, whether they're kids or young adults or even old people, that they thought, oh, I'd really like to get involved in art, I wouldn't think this is the best way for them to start, because you got to buy a lot of acrylic paints and put it all together and everything else, but this is so simple.
Yeah, but you can go to Michael's and get a little bottle of acrylic paint or any craft store,
Okay.
and go and get a little tiny, they're like $1 or
Instead of those big ones
$1.99.
that you have, because you
Yes.
do this kind of thing all the
Right.
time.
So you can get little ones, and you don't need that much because you're going to mix it with the water and the glue anyway.
Right.
Because you want
right.
to thin the paints down, or Floetrol is another paint thinner. Okay. So it's, and then water still, you're trying to make them as runny as possible. So it doesn't have to be an expensive project.
I guess if I was going to think of starting an art, I'd buy a box of crayons and a piece of paper.
Well, you can do that too.
I guess that...
And you know what? And then add a blow dryer and you can melt those crayons, and there you go.
Now, it takes an artist to think of those things. I would never think of that.
Well,
So you would melt the crayons on the canvas?
Sure, I've done that.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep. That was a date night project, actually.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I
What
do
a fun date night thing.
Date night projects with my husband, just because, gets him involved and we have a blast.
Oh, and you can try out new things.
Yes, you can
anything
do that
you think of, you can try out, and
absolutely.
if it doesn't work, it's with your husband, who cares?
Exactly.
What's he gonna do? Say, you're not much of an artist, Petrina.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's more about fun, having fun, relaxing, and trying something a little outside of your comfort box, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Petrina.
You're so welcome.
I loved it. Well, my name is Bob Taylor. I've been here today with my guest, Petrina Sharp, fine local artist. And until next time, thank you all very much.